What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jacob, also known as PickManagement, back here with my boy, the Prince of Picks, Payam. We are back after the All-Star break. We know you guys have missed us, and we have missed you. We could not wait to have this episode. That's why we are recording on Monday, so this has some shelf life, so you guys can get our best bets, and more people can watch this. So, Payam, how has your All-Star break been? What you been up to?
Yeah, been good, man. Missed you. Missed everyone here on the show. Glad to be back with everyone here. And, for me, how you feel about international soccer is how I feel about the All-Star game. So I'm glad that it's over because, I just feel like it's a waste of time. I like some of the festivities, the three-point shootout's cool. Skills challenges, slam dunk is way outdated. And the All-Star game itself is just like every other All-Star game. I mean, it's a 2-hour layup line, and I'd prefer to watch competitors compete on the highest level. I'm not interested in watching that. So I didn't watch
397 points.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on. I haven't watched an All-Star game in 5 years, and I don't plan on starting anytime soon. So just a side note there. I think they need to do something, tweak that somehow. I don't know. It's just extremely boring to me. But having said that, glad to get back to regular basketball, regular action here. We're headed down the playoff stretch here, so we got about another maybe month and a half left of the season. So you got a lot of teams, battling, jockeying for, seeding position in the West and East, teams trying to make it to the play-in. And then you also have teams who are going to start being in full tank mode, who know that they're not going to make the playoffs. And those teams are going to start, sitting a lot of their starters and, kind of picking and choosing their spots here to where they can, maybe lose a game without making it obvious, right? So, but yeah, so for those angles, the betting here is going to be really interesting on this last month and a half because you're going to see a lot of DNPs from players that you may not expect, depending on where the team sits, or in the standings. So, but yeah, you love getting ready to get into all this. I'm excited to get into it, and yeah, man, glad to be back. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, you know what? I never watched All-Star games, and I never watched games. Period. People probably don't know this, but I've maybe watched 3 games of any sport in the last year. I have a really bad problem with recency bias when I watch sports, so I don't watch sports anymore. I just watch highlights and stuff. So I just don't watch live games. But for the All-Star game, the 3-point contest, I did hit my best bet, Lauri Markkanen over 22.5 points in the first quarter or first round. That was the only bet I made for the All-Star break, and at least that hit. So a little light win for us there. But we're going to jump right into this slate because there's a whole bunch of games, and we don't want you guys to be here forever. So, Payam, why don't you just dig right into your best bets, and we will get into this thing.
Yeah, for sure. So just a little caveat to begin here. We're recording this on Monday about 11:45 a.m. Eastern. So as of now, we don't have any player props available. So for those, just stay tuned to our socials. We'll give those out at the end. And if any player props come out that we like, we'll add them. And they'll count towards our record here for this show. But yeah, coming off an 8-6 night on the last night that we had games, which was Thursday, I believe, Thursday night. Or no, Wednesday night, I'm sorry. We didn't do a show Thursday. But right. Thursday actually went 3-0. So there you go. So I went 3-0 Thursday, 8-6 Wednesday. That brings my total to 101-67. 101-67 over my last 3 weeks. So still on an incredible run. And yeah, let's go ahead and dig into it for the Thursday night games on February 22nd. We're going to start off with the 7 p.m. Eastern tip where the Orlando Magic are going to be heading over to Cleveland to take on the Cavaliers. Some recent trends for this one. Cavs, they've won all 3 matchups versus the Orlando Magic this season, and all 3 have been by double digits. So they've won all 3 fairly convincingly. 2 of the 3 games have seen the game total go over 216.5, which is what the line currently is at right now. And the last 5 in a row for the Orlando Magic have also seen the game total go over 216.5. So I think this number is just a little bit too low. So I'm going to be taking the game total over 216.5 at -110. And then I'm also going to lay 6.5 with Cleveland here. That one's at -120. Considering they've won all 3 by double digits, I expect that trend to continue again on Thursday night at home in Cleveland. So those are my 2 plays for that one. Jacob, where you want to?
Did you say 7.5 or 6.5?
6.5.
Okay, yeah. So the line is currently at 7.5. So you would have to buy it down a point, just so you know. Yeah, for this game, I was looking at taking the Cavs. I'm looking at Cavs team total over here. It's not available yet, but if it's anywhere near like 123-ish, I'll probably take the over in it. I don't like the game over, just because I don't really think the Magic are going to have a great second half of this season, but I think the Cavs are. They finished the first half of the season on a hot run. Honestly, that All-Star break probably came at the worst time for them because they were on such a hot run. So I do like the Cavs here. I'm not making anything official, but I am going to look at their team total over.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Next up, we'll go to another 7 p.m. Eastern tip where the Indiana Pacers are going to be hosting the Detroit Pistons. Some trends for this one. Pacers come into this game with the number 1 ranked offense in the league. Meanwhile, Detroit comes in at the 27th ranked defensive team. And it's go time. You're going to start seeing these playoff teams push towards the finish line here, like we just spoke about earlier. These non-playoff teams, they're going to start planning their summer vacation. So I think that's kind of the spot that we're in here with the Pistons and the Pacers. And not to mention the All-Star game was in Indiana. So all these Pacers stars that played in the game, whether it was the skills competitions or the actual game itself, there was no travel involved. So they've been at home. They haven't had to travel at all. So they're well rested. So for all those reasons, I love the Pacers here. I will lay the 11.5. I think they absolutely put it on this Detroit team. I can see them winning by 20 plus, to be honest with you. So I love the Pacers here in a smash spot against Detroit. I'm also going to take the Pacers team total over 130.5. I get it. It's a big number. But again, Pacers, number 1 offensively. Pistons, 27th defensively. You get a team fighting for playoff position against a team, quite frankly, that's ready to tank and ready to tank hardcore. So those are my 2 plays for that one. Anything for you, Jacob?
Yeah, where did you find the team totals? Just curious.
So I got those on DK.
Okay, so my book doesn't have the team total, so I'm glad you have those. So I might be asking you for some lines in the show because I'm just blindly taking some team total overs here because my book doesn't have them. But I am on the Pacers team total over 130.5, staying away from a double-digit spread here. But for all the reasons you just mentioned, Pacers offensively are just dominant. I think their defense is starting to step it up. I think they have a great second half of the season, and I think they take care of business here tomorrow night. Still staying away from the spread, but I do think they put up a whole shit ton of points. So that's what I'm going to be on.
Cool. Yep, right there with you. All right, cool. Next up, 8 p.m. Eastern tip. This is the game of the night for me. The LA Clippers are going to head to Oklahoma City to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder. Some trends for this one. Clippers 1-1 on the money line versus the Thunder this season. Both teams come into this game top 10 offensively. Meanwhile, the Clippers come in with the 9th ranked defense in the league right now. So also Clippers, they're on their last 25 games overall, they are 20-5 on the money line. So this is still one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest team in the league. In my opinion, they're the best team in the league. I know they may not be number 1 in the league in terms of standings, but when you look at their roster construction, when you look at top to bottom, I personally think the Clippers are the team to beat. Come playoff time, they are going to be one hell of a team to try to get knocked out. So in this game specifically, though, I love the Clippers plus 3.5 here. I bought it up a little bit just to keep it under 1 possession. I think they can keep it within 1 possession. They could very well win the game outright. But for insurance purposes, I'll just take the Clippers plus 3.5. That's at minus 130. Did you have anything for this one?
Yeah, sure did. It's funny, Pio and I, we don't talk about our picks before we come here. We don't do that on any of the Pick Management Podcast Network shows because we want to give you our picks just how we would give them and not really be influenced by each other beforehand. But I am on the Clippers plus 3 here for all the same reasons you said. Great breakdown, great analysis of it. Clippers, I'm really shocked that they are getting points here on the road against OKC. Like OKC, I get SGA's doing his thing out there, but they're not the Clippers, and they're not playing how the Clippers have been playing. Clippers are dominant on both sides of the ball, and that defense, I think, is definitely good enough to shut him down. I might be looking at his points total under in this game, actually, but I do love the Clippers here. I took them at plus 3, and I'm probably going to sprinkle a little on the money line. I'm going to wait till it gets closer to game time because I think it's going to get even better. The line has already gone up. It was a point. Now it's 2, at least in my book. And then I bought a point up to 3, but I think that the money line could get up, a little bit better than plus 105, which it's currently at. And I think closer to game time, I might sprinkle a little on that too.
So it's funny you mentioned SGA on his player points because I was gonna wait for that and post it on Twitter. I'm all over his under on this one.
Oh, really? No shit. That's so funny.
100%. Well, here's the reason. So the 2 games they played, the one game that Kawhi did not play, he had 31. When Kawhi did play, Kawhi held him to under 20 points. He had 19 points to finish the game. So I'm assuming Kawhi plays in this game. Kawhi is a beast defensively. He is just another animal defensively. And he can lock down anyone in the league. I mean, there is no one. You name an offensive player, Kawhi is that good defensively, where he's just an absolute eliminator on the offensive side. So I assuming that he's going to play. He's not on the injury report. So if he does go, yeah, I'm going to be hammering Shay's under on his point. So
that's so funny. I love that. All right, cool. Right on.
Yep. So right with you on that one. All right. Next up, we're going to go to a 9 p.m. Eastern tip where the Denver Nuggets are going to be hosting the lowly Washington Wizards. The Wizards coming to this one with a 29th ranked defense. They are allowing 125 points per game over the last 6 games overall. For those reasons, I love Denver team total here over 123.5. That's at minus 110. I get it. They played, I think it was a couple weeks ago in Washington. Denver only put up about 113, I want to say, in that game. But this is a different game. This is in high altitude. And nobody wants to play in high altitude just to begin with, but especially when you're a team that sucks, that is going nowhere, and that is, again, in full tank mode. The last thing you want to do is be catching wind, a mile high above elevation. So, all over Denver team total over 123.5. I think they're going to run Washington out of the building here. Do you have anything for this one?
I'm on the same thing. Denver team total. I didn't have it what the actual line was. I'm pulling up DraftKings right now on my phone to look at what the lines are. But love their team total over 123.5. All over that. Honestly, that I might put a couple units on that. That reminds me of kind of like that Knicks spot the couple weeks ago. This Washington team. This Washington team does not play defense, and Denver is at home, coming off of a long rest off All-Star break. I think they put up 140 on Washington, and I really love that. And I took the game over to 229. It's like I took over 229. The line is currently 230.5. I got 229 at 135. Minus 135. So I'm okay with that juice, but I think it definitely goes over, for sure. I love both of these like a lot. So these are my top 2 plays of the night for sure.
Yeah, and another player probably I'm going to look at for this game is anything with Jokic points and rebounds when those come out. He had a monster game against them in the other game. I think he went for, I want to say it was like 42 and 16 when the game was in Washington. And with the Wizards being the worst defense, or not only second worst defensive team, but also the worst rebounding team in the league, I expect Jokic to absolutely dominate here.
Man, I'm going to have to put some money on DraftKings. I didn't know you could get all team totals on DraftKings.
You can.
Man, I think I got some money in here. I'm gonna have to play. I'm gonna have to play this. I'm gonna have to bail on Bovada for a minute. I'm seeing some stuff on here right now. I'm also gonna look at Nuggets first half team total over too. I think they come out playing with their hair on fire at home in front of the home crowd. But moving on. What
for sure. Yep. All right. So then next up, another 9 p.m. Eastern tip. The Charlotte Hornets are heading to another high elevation game here, going to Utah to take on the Jazz. Charlotte comes into this game with the 24th ranked defense on the road. Meanwhile, the Jazz come in with the 3rd best offense at home in the league, the top 3 for the Utah Jazz. So again, bad defense, great offense. I'm all over Utah. Team total over 121.5. I think that's extremely low considering the shootouts that Utah Jazz games have been in at home. And again, you have a team in Utah who's kind of tinkering around the play-in tournament. They're not quite sure if they want to go for it, if they want to tank. So they're kind of caught in between. Meanwhile, Charlotte in full tank mode. And again, when you suck, the last thing you want to do is go up in a high elevation and be, gasping for air while you're running up and down the court. So Utah, team total over 121.5. I think they run Charlotte. Again, out of the building. Anything for you on this one?
I am literally on the same thing. Pam, I wish I could take a picture right now and send you my screen because I'm literally, it just says Jazz team total over question mark over 121.5. I am all over that. And for what you just said, this is a bad Charlotte team who is going to be, I think, top tank mode team of the second half of the season. And I think that they are in all sorts of trouble taking on this Jazz team, who's looking to have a much better second half of the season than the first. They had a pretty solid first half, and I think that they're going to go strong in the second. So this is where it starts.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, but then finally for me, we're going to go to a couple 10 p.m. Eastern games here. And both of these picks are going to be for the same reason. So I'm just going to run through it real quick. Lakers, Warriors, we're going to take game total over 241.5. Same thing with the Spurs and Kings. Again, game total over 241.5. I think both games end up being a shootout. All 4 teams are bad defensively here. So with that in mind, a lot of these games are shootouts, especially Golden State and in Sacramento. So not much analysis here. Just kind of a trend play here with all 4 teams being the bottom 10 to 15 defensively in the league. So I like a ton of points in both games here. So again, Lakers Warriors game total over 241.5. That's at minus 110. And then Spurs and Kings, I bought that down a couple points so I can match it to the other one. So 241.5 for that one as well. That was at minus 135. And then that is going to do it for my picks. And I'll chime in.
Those are 2 separate plays, right?
Yeah, they're 2 separate plays.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Awesome. So I have a couple more plays that we're going to dig into. I'm going to the Pelicans versus Houston game. I took the Pelicans down to -6, and I took the game total over 225.5. I'm also going to be looking at the Pelicans team total over. Let me pull that up real quick. Now that I know that DraftKings has these, I can get lines for you guys because I was betting these blindly. Over 116.5. Yeah, let me get that.
That's the game.
That's the Pelicans team total over 116.5.
Wow.
I love that. I'm all over that. And -6. Pelicans at home have been playing great. I think Zion has high playoff aspirations. I'm a big believer in some of these teams making a statement in the first home game after the break. And I think the Rockets suck, and I think the Pelicans are going to take care of business. I mean, not much of a handicap from me on this one, but I just really think the Pelicans take care of business here. Any thoughts?
Yeah, it's crazy how much Houston is different from home and away. I mean, they are just straight ass on the road. So yeah, I love everything Pelicans here. I'm right with you.
Awesome. And then I have just 2 more plays. I took the Celtics team total over here against the Bulls. I think the Bulls are going to struggle against the Celtics team. Celtics, I think, are another team going to have a great second half of the season. And I get that they're starting on the road, but they're healthy. Taking on a Bulls team that, they're okay defensively, okay offensively, but they're just kind of like a meh team to me. And I think the Celtics can get their team total over here. Let me show you what that is real fast. Sorry, guys. I wish I would have known this. Now in the future, I'll know where to get these team total lines. Here we go. Sorry. I gotcha. Team total for this. Jesus. Of course, it's like the hardest thing to find. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, whatever it is, I'm taking it. Here. Team props. 117.5. Yeah, I love that in this game. I think the Celtics can easily put up 120 here on Chicago. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, being here in the Chicagoland area, I have a pretty close ear to the Bulls and, what the media thinks about them, fans and whatnot. Everyone has a meh, type of vibe with them. So, nobody thinks they're really that good. We're all pretty pissed that the Bulls didn't do anything during the trade deadline, to be honest with you. So, for whatever reason, they want to run it back with the same mid team over and over and over and thinking that something's going to change, and it's not. So, this Bulls team, they're fool's gold. I've been saying it, and I think they're going to show that down the stretch here. So, yeah, I'm with you, Boston, all the way here.
Awesome. And then I have just 2 more plays. I'm on the Kings team total over here. Sorry, I'll pull that one up for you guys too. They're playing San Antonio. San Antonio is really, I think they're going to struggle in the second half of the season. And this Kings team's like they're pretty good team, and I think that they've been playing better. Don't play too much defense, but the San Antonio team isn't that great offensively. At over 128.5. It's a little high, but I think that they can still get it done at home. And part of that is, this is like my second half of this play, is I'm taking De'Aaron Fox points total over. I really think, I took him on a free play that I gave out for Balls Life Bets. I gave out his points total over that he hit because he had gone under like 19 points in like 4 straight games. And I was just waiting for him to go off. His overs point total is 25.5 here. I think he can easily get that against the Spurs team. So I'm also on D Fox over 25.5 points. But anything on this one? I know you mentioned that you liked a lot of points in this game.
Yeah, so. I took the game total over 241.5, but I also wouldn't be mad at any Sacramento offensive props here either.
Yeah, I mean, to get the game over, someone's got to score. So you know what I mean? So why don't you recap your plays?
Yeah, so to recap my plays here, we're going with the Cleveland Cavs -6.5. We're also going to take the Magic Cavs game total over 216.5. I am on the Pacers minus 11.5. I'm also on the Pacers team total over 130.5. I am on the Los Angeles Clippers plus 3.5. I'm also going to be on Denver team total over 123.5. I am on the Utah Jazz team total over 121.5. And then I'm on the Lakers Warriors game total over 241.5. I'm also on the Spurs Kings game total over 241.5.
Awesome. I am on Pacers team total over 130.5. Jazz team total over 121.5. Clippers plus 3. Pelicans minus 6. Houston versus New Orleans over 225. New Orleans team total over 115.5. I have Knicks on the money line. Check socials for that because I forgot to give it out. Celtics team total over 117.5. Denver versus Washington over 229. Denver team total over 123.5. Kings team total over 128.5. And De'Aaron Fox points total over 25.5 points. Pyam, let the people know where they can find you now.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys can follow me on X and on TikTok at PrinceofPicks10. Make sure you guys stay locked in to both of those socials, as I will be posting my free of charge NBA moneyline parlay. I'll be posting that on Thursday, so as it gets closer to tip-offs, it's a 2 to 3 game parlay, and it will get you at a plus 100 value. So just for some extra money, if you guys have some extra money laying around, you want to throw a bet on there for fun, I'll be throwing that out there. And then also, you guys want to make sure that you guys download our new Discord app. We have a new app where you can find all of us who are available here on the Pick Management Podcast Network. You got myself, Soccer Q Ash, Jacob, Mark, who is the wagering wizard for NHL hockey. So you got a lot of great talent here on this Discord app. And also, we got subscriptions as well, VIP subscriptions. Mine is just $5 a month, $5.49. It gets you unlimited access to all my VIP picks. So that's including international soccer, international basketball, Iranian Pro League soccer, NBA, British Basketball League. I go all across the world and try to cover angles and markets that a lot of people don't cover, so you guys can get some exclusivity with those bets. And again, just $5.49 a month. I mean, it'll pay for itself in a day or two. So make sure you guys check into that. If you guys have any details, questions about that, you can always DM myself or Jacob. Again, my socials are at PrinceofPicks10. That is on X and on TikTok.
Awesome. Yeah, we have a great Discord now. You guys can find all sorts of channels in there. You can find Mark's newsletter. You can sign up for Pyam's VIP. You can get a combo package with the both of us. You can also find my VIP in there. The link is below in the description. If you guys want all of my best bets and record and want to follow along, especially with live betting with me, make sure to head on over to the Juicero app. It is totally free to sign up, and it provides you analytics and insights into how you wager so you can become a better. It's got all sorts of really cool things. You can build a community with your friends. You can get some free picks from AI bots that they have that are smashing. A whole bunch of really great stuff. I'm also starting with a new app called Rhythm. It lets you build your own algorithms and models right on their app. It's also totally free to sign up. I'm going to be putting the link in the description once they give me my special link or whatever so they can track it. And you guys can always find me now Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. on Driving the Line with Jonathan Coachman and Alan Bell. And then daily, you can find a new article from me on Ball is Life Bets and on the Ball is Life Bets social medias and whatnot. I put out bonus plays and some stuff like that over there. Otherwise, you can find me across all socials at Pick Management. This has been the NBA Betting Insiders. We will see you later.
It's simple mathematics. Check it out.